You know, we did. It was actually kind of lame because there was no fights, but I got to run the ball. I think I fell for a -1 game. But
that's not a game. You established yourself?
No, you know, I was going to jump over the pile, but it was receivers blocking for me, so I don't want to hurt anybody. You know, JB is the one that's impressed me the most. He's with the twos right now, and you know, he's a big, you know, he's an athlete. He's big, you know, he can move, and you know, he's still got to work on some things. This is a complicated offense for, you know, just to pick up in 10 days. But you know, the way he's going, he can be really good. Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I feel fresh every day. I'm like Superman. The sun keeps me up, you know.
I'm like Superman. What is it? Wilson diet? Is that what?
No, I'm just on the offensive line diet. I'm actually down a lot. I'm down to like 300. I rated in at 320, so I'm down a lot. But. Well, we actually have a gang. We're Storm Team 4, so you see some other guys walking around. This isn't the Jim Bollman kind of stuff. I'm talking about the real Storm Team 4. They call me Dark Thunder, so you guys better watch out. So. I see one of the toughest players I think I've ever played against in my life. I mean, he is without a doubt, and that's why I love him. You know, I tell him every day I love him because he goes hard all the time. And I mean, that's the one thing from Thed is you'll always see is he's never stopped. You know, he just keep moving. You might be blocking him 15 yards downfield, he's still going. You know, and you know that's what you need out of a guy like that. You know, Lawrence is doing a great job. I think he's having a great comeback. He's moving very well. I think Doug Worthington is doing a great job. You know, Cameron Hayward, that kid he's pound tough, you know. And, you know, those 4 guys really stand out to me the most. This is Mike Adams' work. And there's my partner. That's Purple Rain. Oh, okay. So everyone's name fits them. You know, Purple Rain is more of a girly kind of.
Who made the nicknames out?
Well, we kind of sat around and we had 3 of us at first, but then Jimmy decided to join, so we all kind of sat around and made up nicknames for each other.
Who are the other 2? Steve?
Boren is White Lightning, and Kyle Mitchum's Flash. So you guys better watch out.
You know, it's not about getting full of health. It's more getting the rust off and not having spring ball, not doing that. It's been 8 months since I passed pro and run block, so it's just getting a little rust off. And, you know, I had one bad play today and got the rust off a little bit more. So just learn from those mistakes and get better. The hardest thing for us to do is definitely play pass block. Pass block's the most thing that basically takes some technique. You can't just muscle pass block. You got to learn the technique. You got to do that, and it has to be perfect when you want to do it. And that takes a long time to get back. I guess we're going a little more shotgun this year, but you know, I guess I would say I don't know how it's going to play out because we're working on, you know, some new stuff as compared to last year. You know, the same things. You know, we know we can do those. We got to work on some a couple new things. You know, he likes to have fun, and I didn't doubt for a second that he would miss his senior year, that you know he could leave his legacy here, and you know, maybe do some crazy stuff like this. So,
you'd notice if he wasn't here.
Oh
right?
yeah,
He'd leave.
Totally different. Yeah. So I'm glad he's here.
Yeah.
Well, I think those guys are in the best shape that they've been in during their career. You know, and you know, their weight fluctuates a little bit. Those big guys, always has, day in and day out. You know, I've had in time I've had guys who's 15, 20 pounds in a game. You know, and it can be devastating too when that happens. It's hard to get it all back, but they've done a pretty good job. You know, overall, I think the whole football team is really very conscious of their eating habits and how they go about they really work at that, staying in shape and staying with all the low-fat, nutritious things, all those different things way over my head. I mean, they're doing a good job. For the different tasks that a lineman has to do, I think that there's a magic weight for all those guys. I've always said through the years that really what weight is necessary for is for a ballast in pass protection. That's really what it is. I mean, because it didn't matter if let's take a huge example, an exaggerated example. Suppose a guy could bench 600 pounds, but if he only weighed 250 pounds, in this league, people would pick his 250 pounds up and throw them all over the place. So for whatever an individual's particular body build is, he has to have an amount of weight that he can sit down and not get thrown around and be able to act as it's kind of a wall in that pass protection. So whatever that weight is, over it, when you start going over that magic weight, which is different for everyone, then it just becomes excess baggage that you're carrying around. So that all varies a little bit, but it's interesting that the longer our guys play, any of the guys that go in the NFL, there's not any of them come back here heavier than when they left. They all go to the NFL and they get a little lighter. Well, I think every year that what we do depends upon the talent that we have. So what Steve said is exactly right. We like to think that our whole overall scheme is very broad-based. From being whatever we need, 2 or 3 backs in the backfield, to empty sets, to 5 wide receivers, to whatever we need to do. And that'll change. Be usually in and out depending on who we're playing. Maybe some of our guys develop. So it's hard to answer per se what will happen game by game by game. But usually there's an emphasis on certain things. Year by year, and I can remember a couple of years ago everybody remarked about how much no backs we were in or empty with Troy or something like that. Well, we've always done that. I mean, I don't think we've ever been less than 50 snaps of that since we've been here, and that won't change. So, in answer to your question, hard to be specific about it. But something will, you'll see a couple little wrinkles here for sure.